Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mini Books Podcast with your host, Gloria and Rogan. And today we are excited to dive into Special Book with You. We picked this one because it has really important lessons to share, and we can't wait to talk about them. So let's get started. Ever get the feeling there's more to see in the world than what everyone else is seeing? Not just with your physical eyes, but something deeper.
Yeah.
We're about to take a deep dive into a fascinating approach to awakening your inner vision, and you might be surprised to learn it's not all crystals and incense this time.
No, not at all. It's true. This concept is deeply rooted in ancient traditions. But what we're exploring today is a very practical approach to something often shrouded in mystery.
Right. We're looking at excerpts you flagged from Awakening the Third Eye by Samuel.
Yeah.
And he seems to have a very hands-on, experiential approach.
Absolutely.
Which, I have to say, I appreciate.
Samuel emphasizes direct experience over blind faith.
Okay.
Encouraging you to explore the third eye, not as a mystical concept, but as a tangible energy center you can learn to feel and activate.
And he teaches at the Clairvision School in Sydney, which I understand is quite unique in its approach.
It is.
Yeah.
The Clairvision School blends structured techniques with an open exploratory mindset, so you're encouraged to discover your truth, not just blindly follow dogma.
Right, because cookie-cutter spirituality doesn't really work, does it?
No.
But let's get into the how.
Okay.
How do we actually awaken this third eye energy center?
Yeah,
Is it like
flexing a muscle you never knew you had?
In a way, yes. Samuel talks about the third eye being linked to the larynx, your throat.
Okay.
He teaches a technique called throat friction.
Throat friction.
A specific way of breathing that generates a very particular vibration.
Which acts like an amplifier for subtle energy.
Okay, throat friction. I have to admit, that sounds a bit out there, even for me.
It's true. A lot of people.
What's the benefit of amplifying this energy?
Well, Samuel argues that throat friction can help overcome the limitations of the analytical mind, the part of us that's always analyzing and rationalizing.
Right.
It allows you to tap into deeper insights and a more intuitive way of experiencing the world.
So it's about quieting the inner critic to make way for something more expansive.
Exactly.
What kinds of sensations might someone feel when they're activating their third eye, asking for a friend?
It's different for everyone, but common experiences include tingling, pressure, a sense of light, or even a feeling of spaciousness between the eyebrows.
Right. Between the eyebrows.
Got it. Samuel describes it as a purple space.
Purple space?
That some people perceive almost like a backdrop to everything else.
Okay, hold on. Purple space.
Yeah.
Now I'm really curious.
It's a very...
Is this like seeing actual purple?
Not quite.
Okay.
Remember, this isn't about suddenly having X-ray vision. It's subtler than that.
Okay.
Think of it more like an awareness. The key is to pay attention to what you feel, because the experience can vary from day to day.
Right.
What's important is learning to recognize your internal signals.
It's about tuning into your own internal compass, not comparing notes with others.
Right.
I like that. But it sounds like there's more to it than just this throat friction technique.
Right.
You highlighted something called channel release.
Channel release.
What's that all about?
Imagine your energy flow like a garden hose.
Okay.
If there are kinks in the hose, the water can't flow freely.
Right.
Channel release is about removing those energy kinks, allowing for a smoother, more powerful flow.
Okay, so smoothing out the path for all that third eye energy we're activating.
Yeah, excellent.
Is this where those ancient traditions come in that we were talking about?
Exactly. This concept of energy flowing through pathways in the body is central to many traditions. Samuel connects it to prana in Indian traditions.
Right.
Or in Chinese medicine. It's all about optimizing the flow of vital life force.
Got it.
Yeah.
And are these pathways those meridians acupuncturists work with?
Yes. Samuel focuses on 3 specific meridians in the arm. The heart constrictor, heart and lung meridians. And he describes how their physical locations in the arm actually relate to their energetic functions, which I found fascinating.
So you're saying there's a connection between the actual physical location of these meridians and what they do energetically.
It's really quite remarkable when you start to experience it for yourself.
How did you figure that out?
Well, Samuel emphasizes that the most fascinating discoveries often come through direct experience.
Right.
He encourages you to explore these meridians in your own body, to feel them, to become aware of them, and to notice how they relate to your own personal experience.
That's so cool. It's like our bodies are these maps we can learn to read if we just pay attention.
Exactly.
So by doing this channel release rubbing, we're basically giving our energy system a tune-up before we dive into all that third eye activation.
Precisely. It's about preparing your system for deeper work.
Which brings us to the really exciting part, actually seeing with the third eye. This is where things go from interesting to mind-blowing.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Well, remember, we're not talking about suddenly developing X-ray vision.
Right.
It's about expanding your consciousness.
Okay.
Tapping into a different way of perceiving the world.
So less about seeing physical things and more about
Right.
it's sensing energy.
Yeah.
Vibes.
You're getting warmer. Samuel called it seeingness.
Seeingness. Sorry to interrupt you guys. If you're enjoying this podcast, then don't forget to check out our official YouTube channel, Mini Books Podcast, and subscribe for more great podcasts like this one.
And he emphasizes the importance of moving beyond the analytical mind.
Okay.
The part of us that's always trying to label and categorize everything.
You're right.
It's about quieting that inner chatter.
Okay.
To make room for a different kind of input.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Sure.
Are there specific techniques for cultivating this seeingness?
Samuel talks about a few.
Okay.
One that might surprise you involves eye contact.
Eye contact. Like staring contests?
Not exactly staring contests. It's about using focused eye contact.
Okay.
Either with a partner or even a mirror to break down those mental constructs we were talking about earlier.
Right.
He calls it a double process.
Okay.
Because you're holding that focused gaze while simultaneously cultivating awareness in your third eye.
Right.
That tingling pressure or spaciousness we discussed.
It's like multitasking for your consciousness.
Yeah.
Outer focus, inner focus, all at once.
Yes. And as you do this,
Yeah.
try to tap into the sensation of seeingness itself. Not focusing on the details of what you're looking at,
Right.
but on the very act of seeing.
Wow, that's deep. And you highlighted another technique with a very intriguing name, the Atlantean climax. Is this where we unleash our inner superhero?
Not quite a superhero, but it does involve building up a very intense state of stillness and focus in the third eye.
Here.
It's like all your energy becomes super focused, almost crystal clear.
Okay, that sounds powerful. But you also mentioned a caveat, something about it lacking a certain heart element.
This is a subtle but crucial point. Samuel contrasts the Atlantean climax with other techniques that incorporate the heart feeling, suggesting that connecting to your heart is an important step in evolving your consciousness. True vision, according to Samuel, isn't just about seeing more, it's about seeing differently, seeing with compassion.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Sure.
So it's not just about amping up our third eye, it's about integrating it with our emotions, with our empathy. I love that. It makes you wonder if our modern world, with all its distractions and emphasis on logic, has caused us to lose touch with this deeper way of seeing.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it? And it makes you wonder what we might discover if we could reclaim that connection.
And the cool thing is, according to Samuel, this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? You mentioned the book goes into a whole world of subtle practices beyond this core third eye awakening.
Oh, absolutely. We've only scratched the surface.
Yeah. Like what?
There's everything from working with the etheric body to night practices, protection techniques. He even talks about baby work.
Okay, I have to ask. Baby work. What's that all about?
It's not what you might think.
Okay.
Samuel suggests that babies are naturally more attuned to these subtle energies because they haven't yet fully developed their analytical minds. He believes observing babies can offer valuable insights for those seeking to expand their own perception.
That's fascinating. So babies as spiritual guides, who knew? You also highlighted a few other intriguing techniques from the book. I'm particularly curious about the one you called vibration meals.
Right, vibration meals.
Yeah.
This one really resonated with me.
Yeah.
It's about shifting your awareness when you eat, learning to sense the subtle energy of food, not just its taste.
So it's like becoming aware of the life force within the food, how it nourishes us on a deeper level.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Samuel also delves into the influence of rings on energy flow, the concept of trees as sources of wisdom and energetic support, and even the idea of babies as natural astral travelers.
Okay, that last one might be a deep dive for another day, but it sounds like Samuel has opened up a whole universe of possibilities for exploring this unseen world.
He really has.
Yeah.
And I think the most important takeaway for our listener is that the true value lies in experiencing these practices, not just reading about them.
It's about getting out of our heads and into our bodies, trusting our own experiences.
I would
What's the
just-
best mindset to bring to this kind of exploration?
Curiosity and openness.
Okay.
Approach it like a grand adventure. Be willing to experiment, to trust your intuition and see what unfolds.
Don't get caught up in judgment or expectation. Just dive in with an open mind and see where the energy takes you.
Precisely. And be open to the possibility that what you discover might surprise you.
I love that, because isn't that what life is all about? Those moments of awe and discovery. And who knows, maybe by awakening our inner vision, we can start to see those possibilities everywhere we look.
Maybe we already do. We just need to open our eyes to them.
That's something to think about. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive, and I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to explore these ideas further.
You too.
For those who want to learn more about Samuel's techniques, be sure to check out his book, Awakening the Third Eye. And until next time, keep those third eyes open and keep exploring those hidden wonders all around us. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to dive into more book insights and key learnings, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Mini Books Podcast, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We're back every Sunday at 9 a.m. with new books and more to learn from. Until next time, take care, keep learning, and keep growing. Remember, this is Mini Books Podcast.